Apparently, there's a leaked phone call from Donald Trump associated with this.
This phone call. This is such an unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
It's such an unbelievable.
What actually happened?
Oh my God, the Rico in Georgia.
Legal.
Holy shit.
Okay.
I don't think we even went over these on stream.
Found some votes in Georgia. They just weren't the ones he was looking for. Basically, the way that this indictment is written is that the co-defendant is engaged in several different general schemes in perpetration of 40 different counts, each of which functions as a predicate for count number 1, RICO. Crimes are often made up of smaller, non-criminal acts. Buying a gun is legal.
Yeah, I don't think I watched this one.
Conspiracy to rob a bank is illegal. Telling lies is legal. Telling a lie as part of a conspiracy to defraud someone is illegal. But that's how you get really dumb legal takes like this tweet. Things that are apparently illegal in America. Tweeting that you're watching TV, reserving rooms for meetings, asking someone for a phone number. Which is not only a dumb legal...
I saw that tweet. How fucking stupid. Like, yeah, as part of committing a crime or part of a conspiracy, yeah, that's how that works, you fucking retard. Walking into a bank with a gun isn't necessarily illegal. I don't think... there are probably some banks that allow you to conceal carry.
Really?
But walking into a bank with a gun with the intent to commit a crime with a deadly weapon is illegal. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the intention that matters.
New right-wing thing is describing crimes as generically as possible to pretend like they're not crimes. Someone gets convicted of conspiracy and they start yelling, wow, so it's illegal to make plans with friends now. On January 2nd, 2021, 44 days after Biden was declared the
I guess they don't know the context behind.
Georgia, Trump called Brad Raffensperger and said, quote,
I just want to find
This phone call. This phone call is the ultimate litmus test for how mind-wiped you must be. This is such an unbelievable phone call. It's such an unbelievable phone call.
Called Brad Raffensperger and said, quote,
I just want to find 11,780 votes, which is one more than we have, because we won the state.
And flipping the state is
yeah, this from a few days ago.
Testament to the country. I only need 11,000 votes. The indictment says that during the call, Trump made 13 false assertions about election fraud in Georgia. He told Raffensperger that, quote,
the ballots are corrupt, and you're going to find that they are, which is totally illegal. It's more illegal for you than it is for them, because you know what they did and you're not reporting it. That's a criminal offense. And you can't let that happen. That's a big risk to you and to Ryan. We won the election, and it's not fair to take it away from us like this. And it's going to be very costly in many ways.
Trump followed up his call by threatening Raffensperger on social media. According to the indictment, Trump's scheme to overturn the election continued at least until September 7th, 2021, when he sent Raffensperger a letter. Trump told Raffensperger that DeKalb County had violated the proper chain of custody procedures for 43,000 absentee ballots. Quote, I would respectfully request that your department check this, and if true, along with many other claims of voter fraud and voter irregularities, start the process of decertifying the election, or whatever the correct legal remedy is, and announce the true winner. As stated to you previously, the number of false and or irregular votes is far greater than needed to change the Georgia election result.
Soviet-style tactics have alienated their most loyal voting bloc. The mugshot has breathed new life into the Trump campaign and broadened his appeal to black Americans. Over the weekend, with the help of mugshot merchandise, the Trump
Literally anything bad that Trump does makes him more popular. When it just shows how stupid your voter base is. We get it.
13 counts, got paid for every count, traded the bank account.
I see you got Vivek on your screen, so I figure I'd jump in here and see what you think about this guy.
Trump Jr., you mean?
Think he's got a chance? He's in second place now, in some polls.
You know what? I don't actually. You know why? You ready for my incredibly shallow political analysis?
Because he's brown?
No,
I'm just kidding.
I think it's because I actually don't think the Republicans would care as much about that. I think it's because he doesn't have snappy comments on stage.
I'm not sure I exactly understood Mike Pence's comment, but I'll let you all parse that out. Let me explain it to you if I can. I'll go slower this time. I sometimes struggle with the reading comprehension. I was a House conservative leader before it was cool.
He does seem to be a little giggly on stage and kind of overwhelmed by the whole thing, but that was his first debate ever.
It was, yeah, and he could improve. But I think an important thing about Trump was actually his banter, because what else you can like about him. And I think Vivek actually legitimately, I think he needs to go watch like some insult comics or whatever, and he needs to work on that, because he had a lot of snapbacks to other people, and they were all bad. I think if he would have had a couple that were more memorable, I think he would have performed significantly better. But man, yeah, his endurance.
He's the Indian guy, right?
He got ran into the ground in the last half of that debate. He started off strong, and I was saying, like, I think this guy seems like he's about to have a breakout performance. It's going to be amazing. And it still was good for him. Uh-oh.
professional politician. There you have
Under
it.
your watch,
So
you
the
will make
reality is,
America less like you have no foreign policy experience, and it shows.
and you know what?
It shows.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, he's taking hits. The Vivek steamship taking in water.
It's getting smoked.
It is a friendship. And you know what friends do? Friends help each other stand on their own 2 feet. So I will lead Abraham Accords 2.0. I will partner with Israel to make sure Iran never is nuclear armed. But you know what I love about Israel? And I've been there probably in the last 10 years more than most people on this stage. You know what I love about them? I love their border policies. I love their tough on crime policies. I love that they have a national identity and an iron dome to protect their homeland. And so yes, I want to learn from the friends that we're supporting. And what puzzles
You
me
wanna cut the
is
aid
I want to learn
and
from
let
those
me
and apply
tell
those to protect
you,
our homeland,
It's not
Nikki.
that Israel
That is
needs
the answer.
America. America needs Israel.
Okay,
They
Governor
are the
DeSantis. Governor DeSantis.
I think Vivek has made a name for himself. I think Vivek is like, I don't know how many people follow him before, but I feel like Vivek has made a name for himself. But nowhere near as good as it could have been. He got ran into the ground by Pence, by Nikki Haley, by Chris Christie, I think. Like, yeah, he was
He's here to do more debates, I guess.
at the end for him.
Yeah, Nikki Haley kicked his teeth in with the foreign policy stuff, saying you have no experience, and it shows. And the crowd loved it; they roared. Chris Christie called him a wannabe Obama with the skinny guy.
Oh, even worse. He was like,
name.
yeah, the last time a guy came on stage, blah, 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 was Barack Obama. That was a good one from Chris Christie. Yeah, yeah, he needs to work on his comebacks. If he's gonna be like an insult comic like Trump wants to be, yeah.
I think he did well because he was basically substituting for Trump. Since Trump wasn't there, he played the role of Trump that night, and the Trump base kind of fell in love with him. But now that he's moving up to second place, I'm wondering when Trump's going to turn on him, and you know it's going to get nasty. This guy is Hindu. He took money from George Soros. He's got he didn't vote till his 30s. He didn't even vote for Trump in 2016. This guy is weird as hell, man.
Wait, what's Hindu to do with anything?
You want a bullshit guess from me? I don't think he's.
Want a what?
You want a bullshit guess
guess.
from me?
Okay.
I think he's going to continue to do pretty well. I think this is, by the way, incredibly premature. So, you know, anything can happen, obviously. But
Right.
I don't think he can win. I mean, we'll see what happens, but it doesn't seem like it. But I think he's going to continue to do well. I think he's going to divide the field. If him and Trump are polling about 50% collectively, and there aren't any other huge standout candidates or whatever, I think he just like concedes and then takes a position in Trump's administration. I think that's like the goal. Because any viewer
I
from
agree.
Vivek right now that drops off voter seems for sure going to go to Trump. That'd be my guess.
I think so too. He doesn't seem to have much of a base, if anything. It's just he's backing up Trump. He claims he's going to pardon Trump on day one, so he's just kissing Trump's ass. But here's the thing, and I'm curious what you think. His star is rising. He's surging, and at some point, Trump's not going to like that. Trump's going to be like, "What's with this freaking guy, man? Getting all this attention." I wonder if he turns on him. That's what I'm thinking. Because it feels like it's out of control right now. He's rising too quickly.
I mean, like these debates, it's arguable whether these debates have literally any influence whatsoever over the votes at the end of the day. I don't think that off of one debate anything matters, right? Like, look at the last Democratic primary. There were like 5 different candidates who had their time in the sun. Where I think even at one point, I think even Pete Buttigieg looked like he might be a winner. Kamala Harris for sure did after she like almost nuked Biden off stage. Everybody has like their moments in these debates, but the longevity is like highly questionable. They usually return to a mean pretty quickly after a week or two. Yeah.
Okay, so do you think Trump shows up for debate number 2, feeling like he missed out this time?
I don't think he will until a couple people drop out. That'd be my guess, or until they make the requirements a bit more stringent. That'd be my guess.
Well, the next debate, you have to have 50,000 donators, and you have to have 3% in a couple of polls. And your mayor just dropped out. How do you feel about that?
Which one is my mayor? I should know this.
Francis Suarez, the only Hispanic in the race, man.
He wasn't in the last debate, was he?
Nah, he didn't make the stage. Feels bad.
Oh.
Doesn't know his own mayor.
I think there'll be like 2 less people up there on stage because of that 3% requirement, and so now we'll be down to like 6. And then I wonder if Trump feels like getting up there. And plus, Vivek's going to get baited into talking shit on Trump pretty soon.
Will he? He seemed like he towed the line pretty well last time, no?
Yeah, but he keeps getting asked, why you? And he's getting a lot of media attention now. I see you got the Sitch and Adam or whatever State of the Union thing here from CNN, but did you watch the Chuck Todd and Meet the Press interview he did this weekend?
Who?
Chuck Todd, Meet the Press?
No,
the NBC's.
Who
Oh,
are you
Vivek.
Oh, no, I haven't seen it.
Vivek's
No,
interview.
No.
I would check that out because Chuck Todd pressed him on some other issues. I thought this was kind of soy what they did on CNN, like the KKK thing. I don't know. I don't care about that.
Yeah. No, I haven't seen it. Yeah, hopefully they're not like KKK idpol shit. It's probably not going to play as well, but.
Right. I thought it was just cheesy. Now, but the other thing is too is like, who's to say Trump's going to survive? I mean, the trials are looking like they're going to happen next year. And
I thought Georgia
that
really
means
wanted to push for theirs pretty soon, is what I heard.
October 23rd for a couple of people. Yeah.
Yeah. I wish there was
This year.
polling data to support this. This is just an intuition I have, and I wish I could justify this somehow. But I feel like, you know, people keep saying every time you show a mugshot, it just makes Trump's base love him more and more, stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think that's true. I think that this is what I feel like is happening. Every time some new wacky
He
shit
just made him even more popular than that.
happens with Trump, it makes his base love him even more. But I think that base is getting slightly smaller. That's my feeling. So like the true diehard Trump fans are gonna like him every time he runs into shit like this, but there's gonna be fewer and fewer of them every single time it happens. That's my guess. I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I mean, it gets weird. It gets more alienating the more cases he stacks up and the more bad stuff comes out. And I think some of these people are going to start flipping. And then it's like, okay, now there's some serious facts out there that are implicating Trump. Plus that obstruction case, the subsequent indictment in the documents case. I mean, the 2020 case is nasty, but that document case is open and shut. And that is happening next year.
Wait,
you know,
when you say the documents one, are you talking about the weird thing in New York, or are you talking about it in Florida?
Florida.
Oh, yeah, that's
open and shut.
That's fucking wild. But they basically they just rely on the whataboutism and not understanding like because they're like, what about with Biden and Pence documents? And even Rob Noor, I think, has played that one up.
Well, the Pence investigation is closed, but they need to close that Biden one. It's been going since January. This guy, Robert Hur, is a special counsel that nobody knows about. But I think he's going to wrap that up, and then he'll come out and say what he found, which will be, I found some phone records from Biden's time as vice president. Who gives a shit? Because there's going to be anything as classified documents. So right now, the right is running crazy, saying basically Biden had the same stuff Trump had, which is, we don't have any proof of that at all.
Completely absurd, yeah.
But, I mean, what I'm saying, though, ultimately is Trump could be found guilty and pending going to prison. Though I don't know if he's going to spend time in prison. They probably put him on house arrest in Mar-a-Lago.
Oof.
But
For the
that's the
documents,
case.
I feel like weren't there a couple of minimum sentencing guidelines for that were prison time?
I don't know if there's minimum. I think the only one that has minimums is the RICO charges in Georgia, which is 5 years. But yeah, but he's facing like 10, 20 years on those documents charges for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, like, he could be convicted and he could be heading to jail. And so I wonder if the RNC says, dude, we're not going to win if we have a guy that's going to prison. Like, it's just impossible. You know, I think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, the RNC doesn't want him. That's hard, right? You really don't want, if you're a Republican, you don't want Trump anyway. Because if you run a candidate, there's two huge issues, I think. And nobody talked about the second one. I don't know why. Maybe it's not as big an issue as something. The first one is that Trump has already lost to Biden, right? So that's already dog shit. Why the f would you run the same candidate? Nothing substantial has changed to worsen Biden's image. If anything, I would argue it seems like it's gotten a bit better. We're not in World War III and all the inflation shit has largely been okay. And so Biden's image, I don't think it's gotten worse. And then Trump's image definitely has not gotten better. Now, whether the documents made it worse or not, right? So running Trump against Biden again seems shitty. And then two, let's say Trump were to win. Now you've got another presidential election you've got to fight for in 4 years. He's a first-term lame duck president because he can't run again, right? Which is also really shitty. Why would you want to, if this is your moment to win a candidate against Biden, you're going to pick a guy who can only be one time in office?
No, you're not going to spend $2 billion to get a guy elected for 4 years. But Trump has an excuse. He has a retort to that. He says, I've already been there, and I only need 6 months. I don't need 8 years. I've got it all figured out. I was advised by shitty people last time. This time, I'll destroy the administrative state, as he calls it, headed by Dr. Fauci and his ilk.
Yeah,
but you know, that's just Trump's nonsense. He says he's going to end the Ukraine war in 24 hours, too.
Said very boldly, you could end this Ukrainian-Russia war in 24 hours.
Yeah.
How?
So I know
Yes,
Zelensky very well,
okay.
because he was very honorable with the fake phone call, impeachment hoax #1. They said I made a phone call to him, and I was very threatening. I wasn't at all. I was actually very nice. I was congratulating him on a victory. But when they asked him, they said, were you threatened? He didn't even know what they were talking about. He was very honorable. He could have done grandstand and said, I felt threatened, I felt threatened. He didn't do that. And as you know, I get along very well with Putin. I would tell Putin, got to settle. I would tell Zelensky, you got to settle. I would tell one, you're going to load up with money. I'd tell the other, you're not going to get any money. I would get a settlement in 24 hours.
Yeah.
But I agree.
Like, for that, but yeah. I mean, like, he's already been in office and he didn't do anything. So what are you going to, yeah.
No, he's toast. I think the Republicans are screwed. With Trump at the top of the ticket, it's going to drag him down. Then you got characters like George Santos that everybody forgot about, and a bunch of Trump nominees are going to get on the ballot with him. I actually think it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath for the GOP.
Yeah, I mean, their whole party is in a fucking bloodbath right now, right?
It's not looking pretty, yeah. It's funny to watch them flounder, though. I'll tell you that much. I wish we could fast forward. And here's the other thing: they're going to try to impeach Biden here. They're coming back into town next week in the House.
No shot.
And they're gonna do it. They don't have the votes, but they're going to do it because they got nothing else.
When you say they don't have the votes, then what? Somebody's going to do like a motion. Haven't they already done a motion for impeachment or something in the House once? I could be wrong on that. But if they
no, they've introduced articles of impeachment individually, but none of them have come up for a vote. They've been kicked to committees. Well, they came up for a vote, but they were kicked to committees to disappear. But they can vote on opening an impeachment inquiry. That's what they did with Trump. But they don't have the 218 votes that they need. They don't even have the whole Republican caucus because there's like 16 Republican House members that have to win re-election in Biden districts, and they're screwed. They know they'll get killed. So that's what I mean by they don't have the votes. But if they don't impeach Biden, then they're going to look like he didn't do anything wrong because they've been hysteric about the Biden crime family. Have you been following all that? It's so convoluted and insane with Hunter Biden and all this stuff.
Yeah, they like their Hunter Biden stuff, but I mean, is anything you come up with still the same charisma stuff?
Well, now they have an interview with this general prosecutor that got fired in Ukraine, and he's claiming that millions of dollars went to the Bidens. But of course, he's not under oath, and he's some corrupt shithead over in Ukraine. But
wait, who was the guy? Who was the fucking lawmaker? Was it Giuliani or was it Ted Cruz? Who said that they had talked to somebody and they had recordings and proof of bad Hunter Biden dealings that never came to light? Do you know what I'm talking about? It was a big figure that did this. Was it?
That's in the FD 1023 FBI forum of some informant said that there's recordings of Hunter and Joe Biden talking about getting bribes and stuff. Is that what you're talking about?
Rand Paul? I thought that there was an actual big politician that came out and said, I heard the recordings, and they showed.
I haven't heard that.
I feel like I watched this happen on screen. Like I watched a guy say this. Not Rand Paul. I feel like it was like an A-list like Republican. I don't remember. James Comer?
I don't know. James Comer is the chairman of the Oversight Committee in the House. It might have been, but I don't recall someone saying that. It's possible.
When they release it immediately.
But Ted Cruz also thought a shark was swimming
saying about it
on the 405 freeway recently.
Yeah. Was it Tucker Carlson maybe? I don't know. Was Tucker Carlson the guy that like, was it Tucker Carlson or Glenn Beck where they said like 4 years ago they had 100% proof of something but it got lost in the mail?
Yes, Tucker. He had somebody FedExed. I think it was Hunter Biden's like laptop or something. Like a copy of the drive was FedExed to him and it got lost.
And then he said he claimed it got lost in the mail.
Evidence of their crimes, yeah. But the latest was they brought in Hunter Biden's ex-business partner, this guy Devin Archer, probably did blow with Hunter. He was on the board with Burisma, and he said he would know if they got any bribes, and he said under oath that he didn't see any evidence of that. And in fact, that prosecutor was somebody they liked at Burisma, so I guess Biden got paid $5 million to do the exact opposite of what he was supposed to do. So it's just none of it makes any sense at all.
Something that is really frustrating to me that Rod Rosenstein did this beautifully when he was getting grilled by Jim Jordan in front of Congress. I wish people would understand the difference between saying random shit and saying stuff under oath. And I thought that was just the perfect response that Rod Rosenstein gave when Jim Jordan was grilling him. He was like, what about these reports in the media? And Rod said, listen, if you want to talk to them, bring them under oath and talk to them. But I mean, I'm under oath. They're not. Why am I going to talk about shit that they're saying, basically? And I thought that was a really good point. I wish people would take that with more, because you saw it with like Giuliani, right? The difference between what he said under oath in front of a judge versus what he was claiming on the
I guess people can lie in front of a judge, so they're scared to speak out.
TV stations was night and day and shit. But yeah, it's very frustrating when people take with so much creative stuff that people just say to the media.
Rudy Giuliani, the former mayor of New York City, the former president's lawyer, deposed in a defamation case dealing with Dominion voting systems and these other voting systems here. I just want to play the former mayor here. Let's see it.
We had a report that the heads of Dominion and Smartmatic, somewhere in the mid-teens, 2013, 14, whatever, went down to Venezuela for a get-to-know meeting with Maduro so they could demonstrate to Maduro the kind of vote fixing they did for Chavez.
You say that heads of Dominion and Smartmatic?
Yes, that's what I was told. Before the press conference, I was told about it. Sometimes I go and look myself online when stuff comes up. This time I didn't have the time to do it. It's not my job in a fast-moving case to go out and investigate every piece of evidence that's given to me. Otherwise, you're never going to write a story. You never come to a conclusion.
So we'd known some of that content before. It had been reported, but we hadn't seen it before. Giuliani basically saying he repeated things out loud at a press conference that he never bothered to check at all.
In order to win a libel case like this, the plaintiffs have to show what's called reckless disregard for the truth. That deposition, to me, looks like the definition of reckless disregard for this truth. I mean, the idea that you will go out in public and damage the reputation, as Giuliani clearly did of these companies, without any sort of checking, without any sort of concern for whether what you're saying is true, seems to me clearly libelous. And I just think Giuliani may be on the hook for millions of dollars because, the libel is supposed to address harm to reputation. These companies' reputations were horribly damaged by these total falsehoods that he put out there with, it seems to me, reckless disregard for the truth. So I think these libel cases are going to be disastrous for him, and they may well be disastrous for the media outlets, including Fox News, that put it on uncritically. His complete failure, it appears, to recognize the seriousness of what he was doing and the impact of what he was doing, and his complete lack of interest and lack of curiosity and lack of work in determining what he was saying was true or even had any factual basis at all other than something someone told him. It's just outrageous.
Yeah, I mean, he just said out loud, I didn't go check the facts at all before I repeated it.
At all.
It's gonna be low.
Ear of a number of conservative media outlets. Why did you not ask to provide a statement correcting that misstatement that you had recorded?
Yo, why is she blinking so much?
Totally. And the GOP now is just hinting at things and saying we've got whistleblowers that haven't come forward yet. They're going to testify under oath, but they haven't yet. They play in these games now. They're getting real desperate. But I think it just helps.
Apparently, it was Senator Chuck Grassley was the one saying he heard the tapes or something, but now later on it said that they don't exist. Maybe might have been him.
He's been running his mouth from Iowa. Yeah, he also said he found a pigeon on his porch. He posted on Twitter and said somebody come pick it up or something. Like he's not all there.
Okay.
He's also 147 years old. But yeah, that sounds like Chuck Grassley, yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, well, listen, I just want to come bug you about politics. People come by my channel all the time. They're like, dude, talk to Destiny. I'm like, I can't go in there, man. It's like Orbiter Spotlight comes out when I go say what's up. So
yeah, that's how it goes, dude.
Anything else going on with you?
No, just chilling. When's the next Republican debate?
It's next month, I think the 27th. There'll be a debate every month through the end of the year.
Oh, yeah, jeez.
You should come. I'm gonna pressure you now. We had a little panel with Hutch, Erudite, and Dylan, and we talked for about an hour before the debate. I think it would be great if you could come to the next one. No pressure, but I think it would be fun. We had a lot of fun. We had no conservative rightoids, no brain worms. It was just us chatting about what we think is gonna happen.
Okay, more political debates. Just fun.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe before or after, I probably wouldn't mind doing it.
Yeah, I think you would have fun. You were away on vacation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
All right, man. No, I'm not gonna let you say anything else. Gotcha. Fuck you. All right. Thanks. Later, bro.
I love you. Bye. TikTok Republican.
Anything else?
Some things that the left gets wrong on science denialism or whatever, I'm sure, but it is not even.
You mean like biology? It's so funny how you could just minimize the Democrats' science denialism by saying, well, there's some things that they get wrong. Yeah, well, I'm sorry to let you know this, but Republicans not believing in evolution has literally no impact on our society.
Okay, that's just...
There's no protest in the streets to remove evolution from schools. They're not protesting outside of schools. There's no push.
Were they not? Am I wrong? I feel like I remember this growing up as kids. That Republicans would protest on certain types of curriculums in schools relating to like evolution and stuff. But it's been a long time for that.
Push for some anti-evolution.
Actually going backwards.
Okay, but when you deny biology, right, underage children are getting double mastectomies because of it. They're getting hormone treatments because of it. They're going through all these therapies for it. And we know that eventually it's going to lead to full-blown sex changes because of it. So the impact of denying biology far outweighs the impact of denying evolution. Ultimately, it means that...
First of all, evolution is just... First of all, denying evolution probably sets you up to believe in a whole bunch of other stupid conspiracies. If you're denying evolution, you're denying wide ranges of science. It probably is susceptible to a whole bunch of other science denialism. Number one. Number two, for the trans stuff, that's not as simple as saying that people that are pro-trans children are denying biology. It's a bit more complicated than that. And there are legitimate arguments on both sides. There are no legitimate arguments on both sides of evolution. I don't even know why you would equate these two.
The real science deniers are the Democratic Party, because their views, their science denying, actually has an impact on our society.
Yeah, good one, Chief. Yeah, I mean, we're all melting.
Just like small number of population, I mean, I haven't discussed that.
Everybody's moving out of Phoenix and southern Florida and everything because it's too hot. I wonder what the Republican cope is going to be on that one. Even populists like Vivek now, even Vivek acknowledges that climate change exists and it's largely driven anthropomorphologically. I don't know. What is the word I'm looking for? Oh, God, my head. Anthropomorphic
Anthropology or something.
Right. Anthropomorphic climate change. Even Vivek says that it's probably mainly driven by humans. I thought Vivek called it a hoax.
Roaster hit squad W.
No, he said the climate change agenda is a hoax, which is a stupid point to quibble on. But even he, in prior interviews, has said that climate change is probably real and probably is caused by humans, but that we can't just get rid of fossil fuels.
And yes,
People were trending on Twitter at the same time. One is Vivek, 491,000 posts. The other one is Ramaswamy.
Oh, Vivek, I'm sure these guys are glazing Vivek. I bet they love Vivek. 100%. Guaranteed.
Sure.
I can't wait to hear the glazing.
16,000 posts. Guess what? It's the same freaking guy. That's how bad he was trending on Twitter. And what I told him, Rob, I just sent this to you.
Yes, opening like that. Actually, well detailed, well edited video.